Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Monson Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we share news from our city, state, and country. We share your comments, ideas, and suggestions. We put all this information to good use as a community of English speaking locals so we can connect with our city, Puerto Vallarta. It is a pleasure to see you today. It is March 5th. It is Wednesday, and we have a lot of news, sobering news for the most part, but there's a couple of interesting local things. As always, I welcome each and every one of you, and I want to acknowledge those of you that watch later on. It is a pleasure to connect with you, whether you are watching live or not. Today, as always, we're going to start with the news, and we're going to dive right in with hopeful news for Puerto Vallarta. This March 8th, at 7:30 a.m., a cleanup day will be held at Playa de Oro in the hotel zone as part of the preparation for its certification, with the aim of strengthening the conservation of natural resources and the promotion of sustainable tourism. Playa de Oro is set to become the first certified beach of the current administration headed by Mayor Luis Munguia. This important project is led by Councilman Cristian Bravo Carvajal, who highlighted that since the beginning of the administration, intense cleanup campaigns have been carried out on local beaches, rivers, and streams in order to reduce by up to 70% the amount of waste that reaches the ocean in this city. The councilman reported that to date, a total of 12 cleanup days have been carried out, achieving the participation of around 1,600 volunteers in the collection of more than 100 tons of garbage. This is great news. Not so great news now that the trade war is on between the United States and both Canada and Mexico. Local business chambers are beginning to chime in with their opinions on the matter. This is an opinion. The Employers Confederation of Mexico, or Coparmex, in Puerto Vallarta, regretted the unilateral application of tariffs by the United States. Its president, Francisco Gabriel Vizcaíno, foresees that they will have a significant impact on the Mexican economy and therefore on the tourism sector in this city. In speaking out on the matter, he foresees that potential effects on the tourism sector in Puerto Vallarta that would impact tourism demand and increase prices. In addition, supply chains would be broken. He said, and I quote, "Since tariffs could increase travel costs for American tourists, which could decrease demand for tourism services in Puerto Vallarta. Tariffs could increase the cost of products and services imported from the United States, which would lead to an increase in prices in the tourism sector in our city." Meanwhile, an increasing number of Mexican companies such as Walmart Mexico, Modelo, and the Mexican Coca-Cola industry, as well as companies from the Mexican entertainment industry, announced that they have joined the Ministry of Economy's initiative Made in Mexico to promote the production and consumption of products from our own country. The Mexican government and companies revived this logo, Made in Mexico, In the face of the threat of tariffs promoted by Donald Trump, the initiative is recognized by the logo of a label with the illustration of a head of a Mexican eagle, which dates back to 1978 when it was commissioned by the Mexican government. Um, it was designer Omar Arroyo Arriaga who came up with this particular logo. And of course, Donald Trump's decision to apply tariffs to Mexican exports was an unjustified and unilateral measure that affects companies from both countries and their people. So there will be a response. These are the words of Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. She rejected that. Her government has failed in the fight against drug trafficking, as the White House assured in a statement on Monday. When reading a message, she listed the achievements in both drug and weapons seizures, destruction of drug laboratories, and captures of alleged criminals. Cooperation and coordination, yes. Subordination, interventionism, no. Mexico is respected, she said. Sheinbaum stated that this Sunday she will announce tariff and non-tariff measures against the United States, for which she called on citizens to go to the Zócalo on Sunday at noon, just to be present in this major manifestation. So Sunday we'll have news from Sheinbaum, and Monday we'll share those news here at Coffee and Headlines. Meanwhile, let us take a look at our weather forecast for today. Ouch. Snarky Weather says the sun thinks the moon is a manipulative bitch. I don't know what that pertains to, but I know that it is 23 degrees out there right now. That's lovely. Humidity is at 61%. And our weather forecast for today calls for clear skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 16. Tomorrow, Thursday, mostly clear skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 15. And then Friday, we're going to expect clear skies throughout the day with a high of 27 and a low of 15. Moving right along, I have a bit of news and some announcements to make before we get into our chit-chat section. Starting this Friday, March 7th, the Vallarta Farmers Market, which recently appeared and had set up shop at the stadium in front of the Sheraton, it has changed locations. So starting this Friday, the market moves to a more comfortable space by Soho City. This is a place that features parking, better common areas, and they claim it's a perfect setting to enjoy the best from their vendors. The change means growth, convenience, and a stronger connection between the community and the 50-plus vendors who bring the finest local products every week. Again, this is the Friday market, not to be confused with other markets that happen on other days of the week. This one happens on Fridays, starting at 8 a.m. and ending at 2 p.m. So this will be a brand new location for this market. We wish them success. I also want to tell you that tomorrow's presentation on John Williams is going to be a lot of fun and very challenging because, if I may borrow from my own presentation, this is the man that has, 54 Oscar nominations, 5 Academy Awards, 26 Grammy Awards, 7 BAFTA awards, 4 Golden Globes. He's been honored at the Kennedy Center. He's received the National Medal of the Arts, and he's received the American Film Institute Life Achievement Award. Williams has been busy for 7 decades, delighting us with amazing film music. So I am so excited to bring his wealth of work to my presentations. Again, this will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If you want to reminisce on some of his top films and do so with me, you are more than welcome to join us at the Joint Boutique Hotel, 5 p.m. in comfortable air conditioning. And last but not least, of course, I'm going to be at the Joint today at 4 o'clock to record an interview with Sandy McDonald of Teatro Sin Borders. She is going to tell us all about the upcoming production of Harvey, which I believe opens in less than 2 weeks. So it'll be very exciting to learn more about this play, why it was chosen, and how the production is going to be hopefully as good, if not better, than all the other productions that Teatro Sin Borders has brought to the table. As you know, Teatro Sin Borders started operating as a community theater here in Puerto Vallarta during the pandemic. And ever since then, they have increased the quality of their productions, and it's become yet another great organization to follow here in Puerto Vallarta. Let's take a look at your comments.
Are you looking to give back but not sure where to start? Hands-On Vallarta is your chance to meet local nonprofits and find the perfect volunteer opportunity just for you. Join us Saturday, March 22nd from 12 to 3 p.m. at Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. It's free. And if you're an organization looking for volunteers, we'd love to have you. Just scan the QR code to learn more, and let's make a difference together.
And it's time to look at your comments. And I don't see a lot of comments today, and I'm not surprised. We did not have very exciting news to share today. Well, we had important news to share today. It's difficult to draw the line between politics and news. As I stated before, we're going to focus on affairs as they relate to the well being of Mexico while showing some support and empathy to what's going on elsewhere in the world. But I'm grateful to read your good mornings as always. Betsy, you are so incredibly awesome. Betsy says, looking forward to Paco's presentation tomorrow evening. Yay, it's going to be fun. Laura says, yay for cleanups in the community. That's right. It is so amazing to know that there are people that volunteer their time and effort to cleaning our public spaces. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to clarify here, Laura. The Mexicana Airlines logo back in the day also featured a Mexican eagle, but it's not exactly the same logo. They are similar. The connecting feature here, of course, is the Mexican eagle, and it is its appearance in both our national emblem and in our history, as it was central to the settling of the Aztecs in what is now known as Mexico City. And we've told this story before. I'm always happy to repeat it, but maybe not today. Let's see what else we have. Oh my goodness, Maggie, I haven't read you in some time. It is a pleasure to see you wherever you are. I hope you're having a good time. Let's see what else we have. Yes, Canada's already responding and it is retaliating. I am keeping my eyes open to the news. Very interesting times that we're living in. Let's see. Laura comments, we shopped at all the local markets when we visited. It was wonderful. Such a great culture experience. You know, that is a great thing to read, Laura. I appreciate it. Whenever I find myself traveling through Mexico, I love going to the mercado wherever I go because it is such an essential part of Mexican culture. And for me, it's something that I have to have on my checklist whenever I travel. And because I travel a lot to Guadalajara, I always end up going back to the mercado just because it's fun and it's inspiring. We are getting enough politics in the news. It's good to keep it there and not here. Let me make an important point here, Chris. And I hope that my mentioning tariffs was not misinterpreted as politics. Politics, in my opinion, is all the back and forth stuff that goes on between politicians. For better or worse, political decisions have impact both nationally and abroad. In the case of Mexico, I feel it is my responsibility to report on what's happening in Mexico, and I will continue to do so. You won't hear me reporting what is happening in the United States, nor will you hear me reporting on what's happening in Canada. You are correct. They're great sources of information available to tell news from those other places. But as far as it is happening in Mexico and it is affecting our quality of life in Mexico, we will continue to include this type of information as it pertains to our well being here in Puerto Vallarta. Again, no, I don't want to get political. I'm not interested in politics, but I am interested in making sure that I can create connections between you and what's happening with our country. If anybody has any thoughts about this, I would love to read them. Please feel free to leave them in your comments. And this is pretty much what we had saved for today. Let me see. Where is my... Here it is. It is time. It is time to wrap things up. Again, I look forward to reading your comments about this situation. I am mostly concerned about what's happening in Puerto Vallarta. I am peripherally concerned about what's happening in Guadalajara and Mexico City. And, you know, for those of you that are watching from other countries, all I can say is the world is changing and it is affecting all of us. And I'm grateful to see your thumbs up, Chris. Again, we will not go out of our way to get politicky here at Coffee and Headlines. And I appreciate this from you, Mark. Love the report about things that affect us in Mexico. And I love the fact that you use the word us. And I appreciate this coming from you, as I know that you've been watching for a very long time. This is it, friends. Let us see what happens next. All I can say is sooner or later, somebody's going to write a great musical about this period. And I hope it is funny. Thank you for watching today. I may run into some of you this afternoon at the Joey Boutique Hotel as we connect with Sandy McDonald from Teatro Sin Borders. And if I don't see you this afternoon, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning for more Coffee and Headlines. Have an amazing hump day.